Good afternoon and welcome to the last Ski Classics live session stream in front of the last two races, Reistadløpet and Summit to Senja. In today's session, you will meet the bid holders and their fierce rivals and find out what they think about this final weekend. I'm your host, Teemu Virtanen, and for media people joining us, as always, please raise your hand if you have any questions for our stars and I'll let you in. But let's get the ball rolling right away by having the CEO of Ski Classics, David Nilsson, and the president of Reistadløpet, Jørn Erik Berntsen. Good to have you both here. David, this is the last weekend. I mean, the time flies as it always does, but last weekend, let's talk about that. That was a new race. Machalonga-Boudou needed to be shifted to another location, but now your feedback on Machalonga-Boudou before we move on.
First of all, the area around there in Nordland, as they say in Norway, is a fantastic landscape. It's really magnificent nature, and I hope even if we went to Valnesfjord and to their Plan B, I think we got to show a little bit of teaser for next year when we hopefully can be back in Plan A surroundings with the start and finish in the 50,000 city of Bodø, which is a really fantastic city. They call it the New York of Northern Europe. So we'd love to show more of that next year. But I think we had a good race, tough race, and where we are now, for me, it's just maybe the most interesting thing is that we have 10 different male big winners in this season in 12 races. So that's for me amazing.
And when you think about this final weekend, Reistadløpet, that's been around for a while, Summit to Senja, this seems to be kind of a race that those two races solidified themselves, kind of a good ending for a season. Or what do you think about these two races that are coming up?
Yeah, of course, for us, informally we have said that this is the best LOC in the best organized LOC in the tour. They know about it. They are very professional and very good to work with from Ski Classics. So to not only have this year, but we have actually prolonged the agreement for 3 more years, and to build the Sunday event also. The Reistadløpet, of course, is Saturday, and then Summit to Senja is our grand final. So we will build it over these 3 years to where also recreation skis can qualify to be part. So it would be our UTMB Mont Blanc or our Ironman Hawaii, that the Sunday race will be a event where people will be able to qualify into if they do the other races within time, because it's quite a tough challenge. So it's not for everyone.
So you and Erik, how does that make you feel when David is really praising you guys, putting you on a pedestal here, being the greatest organizers?
I can just say thank you very much for that. It's a very, very big compliment for us. And but we have joined the Ski Classic now for 9 years with Reistadløpet, and it's the 3rd year with Summit to Senja, and we really like to be a part of this events then. So it's very good. Thank you, David.
And then what about the conditions? I mean, it's warm everywhere in Scandinavia, I think, pretty much. And I think warm weather is in the pipeline for the weekend as well, correct, for you guys?
Yeah, it's correct. We have had a very warm winter, actually. But during the last couple of weeks, we have had more than 100 centimeters new snow. So we have a lot of white new snow in the area, and we are now working very hard with the courses so we can get them as hard as possible. But the teams are already in place, and I have talked to several athletes, and they are very happy with the conditions now. I think we are have been doing a very good job to get the courses ready then. In the upcoming days, it's less snow, but we'll still have some snow tomorrow and a little bit less snow on Saturday, and maybe no snow on Sunday, but maybe some rain. So it's between 0 degrees and 5+, I believe, on Saturday and Sunday.
So I think it's a pretty good segue for us to take a look at the map. So David, you have Reistadløpet's course and profile there. So let's take a look at that first.
Yeah, so of course it's quite familiar now. We don't do any changes in this race. We have a start, and quite soon after we have the sprint at Storlemyra, and this is also a team sprint, meaning that both, so that the individual will get their sprint points, but will also be added on top of today's team points. So it will matter a lot in the team competition. And then we have this kind of this straight line to the sky, which is of course the uphill to Urta, which is an iconic climb and a very, very exciting climb. I'm looking forward to seeing the climb graphics when we come to that on TV, because it's quite a spectacular jump up there. And then it's a little bit downhill, and then there's one more climb to Halvor Hill, which is not on the map, but the second one, which is also really tough. And then down to the finish in Bardufoss. So it's a really tough race, but spectacular. And even if it's snowing, it looks like on Saturday, it looks like there's no wind at the moment. So it should be fine, even if it becomes some snow during the race.
So the total climb here is pretty close to the total climb here, for example, here in Lahti, the World Cup 50K. How tough is this course, really? It took a long time for anyone to win this by double poling. That has been done now, but for the longest time was just diagonal striding. But actually, from both of you guys, how would you describe the course compared to other races?
Ask the athletes, and you probably will when you come to the athlete section. So, but of course, it's a course which is very demanding, especially those two uphills.
Good. Can you guys turn the cameras on? I think you both are off.
We're on.
I don't see you guys.
I think it works. We see each other, Timo.
Okay, so then I don't see you. But good. Then I think we could then talk about the Sunday's race. Okay, Reistadløpet, as you and Erik mentioned, 9 years in the calendar. Summit to Senja, 3 years. A little bit of different race. Good race for the final day. But David, you also have the map for that, and you can also go walk us through that particular course and tell us about the race.
Yeah, exactly. So if I have about 1,200 8 meters on Saturday, we of course need to beat that for Sunday. So at about 1,350 then. So a little bit longer, 60K. It's, as you see on this map, it's not really flat until the first sprint at Johannesmyra. And of course, the start is where the finish was the day before. But this sprint is also a team sprint, meaning once again, individual points, but also points directly on top of today's normal pro team points. So it's a lot of points involved in that sprint. And then we have a long, beautiful track on top of the mountain. It looked like sun and cloudy, at least in Swedish forecast. I used that one this weekend. And Baraskallen, I think the name is, where you look up there on the top, where you see the fjord and hopefully some cruise ships coming in before we went down, all the way down for the last uphill to Magdaskar, which of course is another iconic climb, and then down to the finish. And new this year is that we have moved, there was some feedback last year, and so we have moved the finish from the harbor, so to say, back to the middle of the center in Finland. So it's about 400 meters earlier finish, and on the city center where there's a lot of people. So we believe it's going to be a great finish and a great atmosphere, because there's normally a lot of people packed there in the center of Finnsnes. So that's the Sunday race, Timo.
Sounds pretty exciting. And then questions for Jørn, Erik and David.
Jakob has a question.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Yes, David, could you tell us which of the new skiers coming in are full registered members of teams, and those who are not, how do they affect the scoring? Could you just tell us that?
At the moment, it can of course come in a couple of new ones, but at the moment it is Ebba Andersson for Team Engcon and Johanna Hagström for Eksjöhus, which are not registered. And the reason for that is, of course, that you have a maximum, you have 8 Swedish Norwegian skiers you can have. And if you already had a full squad, then you cannot register one more. So those people will not get individual or team points, but they will, of course, steal points. So no one else will get the points that get. So if, for example, then Johanna Hagström wins the race, no one else will get the 300 points, meaning she can affect in that way, so to say. Then there's of course other skiers coming in like Victoria Karl or Astrid Eireslind, which was registered before the season. So they will be normal pro team skiers. And this is something we're looking on for next year. So when I actually had a talk with Ebba, maybe you can ask her later, but she had an idea that maybe we could create some wildcards for the last weekend for World Cup, or doesn't have to be World Cup, but for skiers normally not in a pro team, that they can come in and be part. So that's something we're looking on for next season, because of course we have always been very open in Ski Classics that everyone who wants to come are more than welcome. But of course we need to have some rules also for the pro team, so it's fair competition. So I hope that was an answer, Jakob.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then more questions for David and Jørn Erik.
I see Anders. I think you don't see Teemu, but
no,
I
have a problem. I don't see. I hear you guys, but I don't see anything. That's why I mentioned that I don't see your pictures.
Yeah, so
I don't see anything.
Anders has a question.
Question for Jørn Erik. How many races will it be on Saturday and on Sunday, and how is the development of the races?
On Saturday, I believe it will be between 1,000 and 1,200 somewhere, and on Sunday it will be about 200, something like that.
And how is the development from last year?
It's pretty stable, actually. It's not a very big development, but that is mainly because of the weather forecast. If the weather forecast had said sun and on very sunny on Saturday, we would have had 200 or 300 more on Saturday.
Thank you.
Teemu still alive? I think we have some technical issues with Teemu. Maybe if you hear us, you should log in and try again, Teemu. I think that's what he's doing. So meanwhile, I can maybe talk a little bit about the next season then, just to keep the talk. And of course, this is season 16. We are coming into season 17, and we are taking on two new things. We are looking, first of all, to build the pre-season in September, October with some super challengers on roller skis. And then we have a new format which we will launch in May for one of the races next year, which we really look forward to bring some of the old formats back to skiing. So we really look forward also season 17 that we will release in May. And maybe I can also say that, of course, what Teemu will go through during the day here is that there's a lot of open competitions for the different competition for the different bibs. So it's really exciting that I think only the women sprint bib is decided, and that's really fantastic for this season. So with that said, let's see if Teemu is back. I don't think so. Should we go anyway, Hanna? I can start while Teemu is coming, and thank you and Erik so much, and maybe open for Espen if he's next in line.
Hello.
Hey Espen, nominated
Hello.
to one of the pro team of the 5 people as the pro team director of the season, and at the moment leading. Tell us about your last race, a fantastic podium slam by the men in the team.
Yes, it was. We have been so close so many times now, and now everything was going on the right way, and we was. The guys are really strong, and now we have good skis, and they have good conditions, and it was perfect day for us.
And what about the women class? What can you say there from last weekend?
Louise is still doing a really good work, and she taking step all time. She's was a little bit tired. Maybe we have Reistadløpet 1 week before, and she was a little tired. Long season, new first year in this ski classic. So yeah, she relax and hopefully can get the energy for the 2 last race.
And being a former pro team director myself, what has your expectations been? Have you fulfilled your expectations that you had before the season, Espen?
Yes, we are leading, and for me, it's like I have tell a lot of time. It's the pro team competition is really big, because if we are leading that, we delivering good result in wood, and we have. But of course, we have a lot of injury in the girls' side, and that's been really tough for us, and absolute for the athletes too. So, and it's not only the athletes on the ski. Magni and Katti is leader in the girl group, and we have like Louise, like a new skier there, and they was when they are away, she is a little bit alone, and that's maybe the biggest problem just now.
Yeah, and I think now Teemu before then. Teemu is back in the game, and I can shut off. Here comes the question. Anders, go ahead, please.
Hey, Espen.
Hey.
When Martin won Reista in 23, was he in the team then or not? I'm a little bit curious if that was your first win last weekend.
Yeah, he was in the team then, yeah.
So you have had the team. You have had 1 races before.
He had been used to the team because we was not full in that time. So we have 1 place free for him to the last race.
Okay, so that means Eksjöhus won the race in 23, then in the men's race.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's see if Teemu is back. I have one more question to you, Espen. What about it's quite fierce competition between Engcon. I think it's 60 points. What's your take on that? How will you defend your leading position for the weekend to come?
We have 4 bibs. We want to save them, and of course you have good input in the sprint. We have a sprinter with a green bib need points, so hopefully we can take a lot of points in the sprint. And we have Axel with the climb bib, and he won points in the climb. So yeah, if we can save the bibs, then we have done a good competition, and hopefully we can keep Engcon behind us for the 2 last race.
Thank you. Teemu, are you back?
Thank you. Yes, now I'm back. I'm really sorry. It took me a long time to get back. I had to recharge my computer, but I am here. Good to see you, Espen. Good to see you. You're in the car. I think you're getting to the location, aren't you?
Yeah, we are on the way to Sättermoen.
So what are you expecting for the weekend? I'm not just sure what you guys been talking about so far, but I think you guys are excited about the last weekend, and when you reflect upon the whole season as well.
Yeah, we was really happy in the weekend. It was really good, and what we accept for this week is we have good skiers with a good capacity, and this track is for capacity. So hopefully we can be in the front this time too.
That should be the case. Still, any more questions for Espen before we let him go and soon move on to the next one? I have one before I let you go, Espen. It's always been talks about team tactics and, of course, the role that they play in ski classics. Do you see that is becoming more and more important in long distance skiing as well, much like in cycling, for example? Or what kind of a role do you see them playing in skiing?
We work a lot with the skiers about the tactic. We need to use each other to get the winner, and for us it's when we have really strong team on the men's side just now. We have a little short team in the girls' side, but in the men's side we need to use our plus and put one to the position to win. And what we do in the Bodø was exact that. We take the chance when we have it, and they was in the last uphill we have 3 from Ragde there, and they was not. They do the work they want to do and they go for it, and we have talked about a lot about that. So for us, is tactic really important ingredients in this competition now.
But do you think that something like the last weekend can happen again this weekend, that you guys do that well, or what do you expect?
Oh, it's everything can happen, but I think 3 months on the podium like this is not something happen every weekend, and sometimes I think it's one time this year maybe and one time last year, so it's not something happen a lot of times. So, but if it's happen again, I get really happy, of course. But we go for the victory, and we have to see that.
And I assume that you guys already kind of putting your sights on the next season. Is there anything you can say about that? Of course, we need to race this weekend at first, but I think you're already thinking about next year and the years to come.
We have signed up the most of the skiers for next year. So maybe some changing, but not much. We have the same skiers next year. So
good. That's good to hear. So good luck there. Good luck there. And let's see if you can repeat the feat and get a triple victory, or at least podium places there. Thank you very much, Espen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And we are moving on to Anton Järnberg. We were also going to have Team Engcon's Jørgen Ulvang, but he is not available this weekend. But Anton, you are. How are you doing? All good?
All is good. I relax a little bit before we're going up to Bardufoss tomorrow.
When you think about this season, maybe not the greatest so far for your team, because of course your team is a big one, like a 157 ski team. Are you happy with the team, or when you look back, are you thinking, things could have done, or we could have done things differently?
I think it's we have really big goals with the team, and we have the season has not been the best, but after we take the Vasaloppet, it's really good. It's the biggest race. It's the biggest goal for us. Then we are really happy, and of course with Jenny on 5 podium places, really good. But we have big goals, and we have good skiers, and we have 3 victories this year, and that's good. But Marcialonga and Gisärska and Birken was not so satisfied with.
So the competition is becoming harder and harder, fiercer and fiercer every year. How do you see the development in ski classics? You guys been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's been harder and harder, and the ski has been better and better. And now I think we have 6 teams who's really good. And you need to have the good shape. You need to have good skis. You need to have good service team every race. And if you not have one of them keys, you are not in the leading group and can take the victories, and that's really hard now. And maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago it was not so. Then if you have strong skiers, they could be on the top every race, even if the ski is not the best or something.
Indeed, but that's really good for the sport, of course, that we have so many good skiers and good teams. Questions for Anton? Max Östlund, please go ahead.
Hello, Anton. What is the main thing that you guys need to improve for the next season?
Oh, that's a good question. But if you look on the last races, Birkebeinen and Marcialonga Bodø, we notice in the top of this race that this is really hilly race. So maybe we need to be a little better in this type of race. But we we will win Vasaloppet, we win the big race, we will win the Marcialonga. We need the mix of to be on top of this race and maybe be a little better in the hilly race. So we have a challenge for that.
But how will you achieve that? I mean, is there any changes in the lineup, or do you need to train in a different way, or can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
That's a good question, and we are not finished with these things yet. But I think we have built the team, both girls and boys, for Vasaloppet, and of course maybe not the same skiers as the Vasaloppet and Reistadløpet have the favorites race. So I think we need to train a little bit. Not exactly that we're done, or maybe we have some new skiers who could help us with that. But I don't know. We take this race weekend first, and we take and look forward on next season.
Okay, thank you, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max. And more questions for Anton? So I have one for you, kind of the same that I have for Espen, but in terms of the team tactics. And you have a strong team. You have a team that can actually come up with a tactic. Have you guys thought about that for this weekend? 2 different type of races, 2 races back to back. And how often and how much do you guys talk about tactics, sort of on a general level?
We talk about the tactics very, very much, and we work the whole year about the tactic and how we should play, and which skiers who is the captain, who could help them, and which race is the most important, and how could we help you in this race or something in the race time. So Senja is really it's maybe difficult to do it, but you really need to be really strong, and the strongest guys and girls is on the top of the first hill, and after that there's not so much people in the group, so that's maybe a little not so easy this weekend. Last year we tried to on the guys do a really hard pace from start, and maybe be a small group into the bottom of the first hill, but we were very tired of it. That was not so good today, so we will see what we do this time.
And these 2 races that are coming up, from your team's perspective, you talked about that a little bit, but how do you see these courses or profiles fitting your team's individual skiers?
I think if the best skiers, Emil and Jenny and maybe Kara is number 4 and double pulling 2 years ago, and I think if they are in good shape, they could do good result. Emil could do good result every race he go if in his best shape, but it's not the best race for us. That's not it. But I think and I hope we could we could do a good race.
Okay, let's hope that will happen, and you will come up with the team tactic as always. Thank you very much, Anton.
Thank you.
Good luck there.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are moving on to our skiers, our athletes, and we start with of course, the champion Bib holders, ladies there, Anikken, Alnes, Team Engcon. Hey, how are you doing? Ready for the weekend?
Hi.
Final weekend. It's almost over, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it will be fun.
Yeah, how does that make you feel, actually? Because the season is almost over, and it's been a long season, of course, but are you a little bit of a teary-eyed, that it's over again?
No, I think it's fine that this is the last weekend. So I'm looking forward to the weekend, and I think it's good for my body that it is the last one.
But it's a tough one because you and Emilie, you're fighting really tooth and nail for the champion Bib. What do you think you need to do in order to secure that 2 races left?
Oh, I will do what I have done for the past races. I'll try to be as good as I can and try to hold on as long as I can, and just take race by race and ski as fast as I can. It's the strongest woman that wins, and the weekend will show how it ends up being.
Sounds simple, but I know that it isn't. Then questions for Anikken. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Anikken.
Hi.
Can you please tell us a little bit about how your experience of Bodø was?
Bodø was a tough race. It was, of course, I hope to hang on for a little bit longer, but it was a tough and challenging course, and it got tough. So, but I was happy about it overall, anyways. So I had to dig deep, as a lot of other races the past month. So it got pretty hard.
Yeah, you really ended up as a miner this winter, digging deep in a lot of races. Did you have skis that were fast enough? I thought I saw your men in Engcon had a little bit less good skis than the other teams. How was yours?
I think maybe we struggle a little bit less than the guys, but it could have been better. But I think we girls solved it quite well, but the guys got to struggle a little bit.
Yeah. These two races coming up this weekend has in the past not been the best races for you, but on the other hand, it's a new Anikken that we see this winter. What do you think about these two races?
It's going to be hard. I think Senja is the race that suits me better. I did quite well there last year, so I'm looking forward to that one. I think Reistadløpet will be the biggest challenge, but because I will double pole, which could be good this year due to the snow in the forecast, how it looks like. It could be a struggle to stride as well. But it will for sure be a fight between the traditional skiers foremost, and then I think we'll see how it ends up. But I think it will be easier for me to double pole this year than it has been the past 2 years I did it. I strided last year, but the 2 prior years I've double poled it, so it's not a new challenge, but I think it will be better than it has been.
Is striding an option for you with your knee at all, or is double poling now?
It's not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. Then more questions for Anikken. Well, then I have one. What about the racing back-to-back? This is something we have talked about, and you guys are now getting used to it. We have quite many of those races where you do 2 races, but these are really tough ones, really long-distance races, back-to-back, tough courses. How do you think that suits you?
I have done pretty well on the back-to-back races. It was a little bit of a struggle in Lavenosta, which was sort of like more about the knee than the whole body in total. But I think I've done. I feel like I could get better, or I feel like I'm still good at the second day. But this is a longer race, and I sort of felt quite a fatigue after Bodø. So how it will be this weekend, I don't know, but I hope to be sharp on both days, and I think it's a good addition to Ski Classics, and it's a little bit fun stage racing, so it will be cool, and I'll just try to hang on.
Jakob, you have a question.
Yes, you have already secured the green bib, but the sprints this weekend are extra important for the pro team competition that is very tight. How do you look at that? How much energy will you put into the sprints this weekend?
It's mainly about the yellow bib, and then we will discuss it a little bit within the team how we'll do it. But for me, it's the most important is the yellow bib, and we will see how the race is evolving, because it's sort of if it's easy to take a green sprint points, I will probably do it. But if it costs too much, I will keep back. So it's all about playing the game and see how others are going to do it until the sprints.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob, and thank you, Anikken. Thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for the weekend.
you.
It will be a tough one, but you will do well. And
Thanks.
we are moving on to Emilie Fleten, Team Ramudden. Hello. So as Anikken said, tough fight there. You guys have about 81 points separating you right now. But how are you eyeing on the weekend and of course the yellow bib?
I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be a tough but fun weekend. For me, it's like of course I think about the yellow bib, but it's feels like it's maybe too far ahead to reach it. But I will take one race at a time, and we'll see in the end.
And how do you feel that these two races, how do they suit you, and also racing back to back?
Normally it suits me good. Not the best Reistad, of course, when the winners has been on kickbacks, and I'm not best with the kickbacks. But I've been on the podium the last 2 years. So, but I think it's going to be really tough competition from Ebba and Astrid. So, yeah, I'm not aiming for winning on Reistad, but Summit to Senja is it's a tough course there. It's possible to win on with double poling.
That remains to be seen. Then questions for Emilie. Jakob Hort, please go ahead.
Talking about Ebba and Astrid and the tight fight that you have with Anikken about the yellow bib. Usually you are always, both of you, top 3, top 4. But now that other top skiers are coming in, the situation could be a little bit different, and that could play in your advantage. How do you look at that?
I think with both Astrid and Ebba coming in, they will probably be at the top. So, of course, if I'm doing a really good race, it can be my advantage. But I think most likely it's going to be that they are taking the highest positions and also the most points. So then it won't be so many points between me and Anikken if I going to be able to beat her anyway. So yeah, it's good that it's good skiers coming here to race, but I'm not sure if that's the biggest advantage for me because they're going to secure the most points, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then Anders Blomqvist, your turn.
Hey, Emilie.
Hello.
Are you 100% you will double pool on Saturday, or is it a weather thing also?
No, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've gone with the kickbacks the 2 last years and been third both times. So I haven't gone with the kickbacks much this year. I think I had 1 session, so I'm absolutely not sure. But I think it's a really hard course to double pole, and especially when we are doing a hard race the day after. So if it's possible, and if I feel like I get good grip and good skis on Saturday, I would prefer to go with kickbacks on Saturday. But it's going to be a little bit weather with rain down and snow up, so I'm not sure if it's going to be really easy to wax the skis. But I hope to go with kickbacks, so we'll see.
Okay. How has your body feeling after Bodø?
It's been okay. I feel like after Birken, my body and mind was just so empty. So I almost didn't train before Bodø. And in Bodø, I felt like my shape was missing quite much. So this week I'm just trying to train a little bit more normal and see if it's going to be possible to have some shape this weekend, because I felt like I was missing a lot of my best shape the last weekend. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. More questions for Emilie? So, Emilie, since this is the last time we're going to talk to you, this is the last session, the Ski Classics live sessions. When you look back on the season now, being the current champion, how do you feel about your overall season, or what's your overview of the season from your personal perspective?
Oh, it's been maybe more up and downs than I was hoping for, but it's been some really good one, and really, like, of course, it's been some really good races, and of course Vasaloppet was a huge disappointment this year, and I think after that it was maybe hard for both my body and mind to regain some energy, but before that it was some really good races, but really more up and down than last year. I kind of know why, so but you always hope for the best. So, but I take with me really many good races and good learning.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us, Emilie, and good luck there for the last two races, and of course for the summer and seasons to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Amund Hoel there ready. We now move on to the men's side of the competition, the yellow bib or the champion competition, and it's really, really fierce, Amund. Indeed, you have four guys really close to each other. You there, Johan Tjelle, Ole Jørgen Bruvoll, and Andres Nygård is also pretty close. I mean, it's exciting, at least for us watching it. I don't know if it's as exciting for you guys racing, or how are you approaching the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting for us too. So it's going to be a close fight, and not just the top four. I think top six is also, all the top six guys are pretty close. So I think it's going to be a tough fight till the last final climb on Sunday. So it's going to be a hard weekend for us.
Any butterflies in your stomach? Are you nervous about the weekend?
I'm pretty calm still. So yeah, maybe they come later.
And how do you think that these two races will suit you? Will you be in a podium again?
Well, I don't think it's my dream races. I think those races have been this year. So for me, it's about trying to have a good day and be as good as possible on the weekend. I don't think podium is really realistic for me. So, but I'm going to try to stay up there as long as I can.
That'll remains to be seen. We'll see how far you can get. Maybe back to the podium. But then questions for Amund. Jakob Hård, please go ahead. Jakob, please.
There, yeah.
No. Yes.
Hello, Amund. I'd like to know what happened last weekend.
It was a tough day for us, especially the boys. We struggle a bit, a little bit minus on material, so it can happen sometimes. And I worked really hard over the climb, and was like 10 seconds behind the front group or the top. And I used like 10-15 minutes chasing the front group alone and with Runar and Gjerde. And after 10-15 minutes, I was just no energy left. And when group 2 and 3 gapped us, no energy left. And it was just a bad day for me as well. So hopefully it's better this weekend.
So how have you been feeling after the race?
I feel the body's. I feel okay. So I think if we can turn that much from Birken to Bodø, hopefully can swing back this weekend and be good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then Anders Blomqvist, your turn.
Hey, Amund.
Hello.
Do you figure striding on Saturday, or is it double pulling that's 100% for you?
Yeah, it's most likely double pulling for me and most of my teammates. I have 0 sessions with striding this year, so I think double poling is safest for me.
Is there a weather issue if the weather is bad for double poling? Could you start on Saturday with the kick wax, or is it a no-go?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility if the weather is really bad, but I think the forecast doesn't look so good for kick waxers either. So I think it's going to be tough conditions for the waxers as well. So I would just have to wait and see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. So Amund, you just mentioned that these two races are maybe not your dream races, as you said, but we think about racing back-to-back, two days of really tough racing at tough courses. How do you feel about that? And do you generally feel positive about racing back-to-back, like 2 days in a row?
Yeah, I think that's okay for me. I have had some good experiences in Orsa. Day 2 was pretty good, and ITTs on day 2 has been okay for me. So yeah, I think, but it's the same for every guy. So I think back-to-back racing is it's fine.
And those are the last 2 races. Then after that, you get to relax a little bit. Are you already thinking about the next year as well?
No, I don't think about next year yet. I think about Saturday, Sunday.
That's good. Thank you very much, Amund. Good luck there. I know the fight is really tight there. So let's see which one of you guys will eventually take the trophy back home.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Be exciting. Thank you.
That'll be indeed. And we move on to Amund's teammate Ole Jørgen Bruvoll. Hello, good to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
So when you think about the race, the overall, the yellow competition, I mean, Amund, your teammate is in the lead. It's not that only a few points separating you two. Do you guys talk about that in the team, that you actually have 2 of you, and what kind of a tactic do you do, or is it just everyone for himself?
Yes, of course we talk about it, and we have 3 people top 3 with Gjerde. So we are fighting hard, and we are fighting together that one of us is going to secure the yellow bib.
So it doesn't really matter which one, it's just that there needs to be one of you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one of us. Of course, we want all 3 on the podium, of course, but main focus is that one of us is going to secure the yellow bib.
And Reistadløpet is a tough race, and when you think about the team tactics, how well can you actually come up with any kind of a tactic for a race like that, where you have like really long climbs and even a lot of herringboning as well?
Yeah, Reistadløpet is not it's not a race where the tactics is too important. It's the climb separates all. So it makes it more race for that doesn't invite to a lot of team tactics. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a lot of team tactics on Saturday.
Most likely not. Then questions for Ole Jørgen. Jakob Hård.
So hello, how frustrating was last weekend for you?
Hello, yeah. Of course, it was a little bit frustrating, but that's how the game is. Sometimes you have really good skis, and last weekend the skis weren't. They were medium, and yeah, that's just how it is.
Did you quite early in the race realize that your skis were not as good as some of your competition?
Yeah, I had a feeling from the start, but it was more on the second lap where I kind of saw the differences. It wasn't that easy to tell in the start. No.
Okay. And how has your body reacted? How do you think that your shape is? Is it do you feel that you are in good shape?
Yeah, I think the shape is overall good, and I think has been quite good since after Vasaloppet, and yeah, I hope it's still good for this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob, and then Anders Blomqvist, your turn.
Hey, Ole Jørgen.
Hey.
I will ask you the same question as Amund. Striding, are you closer to stride than he is on Saturday, or what do you think about that?
I'm maybe closer, but most likely I will go for double polling.
Is it a weather thing that could make you stride?
If it was more, it's the weather forecast looks like it's going to be a quite difficult conditions for like perfect kickbacks. It's going to be quite dry at the top of the race course and more wet on the lower part of the race course, which is probably just going to make it difficult to have good skis. So since we are double polling all the year round, I think it's safe to go for double polling.
Yeah. You were really strong 2 years ago in Reistad, I would like to remember. But last year, what happened there?
Last year I was trying with kickbacks and diagonal strides, but I did not have any kind, like the kickbacks did not bite at all. So I was just double polling with kickbacks instead of using it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist and Jakob Hård. You still have a question?
Yeah, I had one more. Could it be a team decision that one of you goes with kickbacks to like spread the risk or the possibilities?
Yeah, of course. That could be a tactic. Maybe not from us, but from some teams. I definitely think that is a possible tactics that we are going to see.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jakob, and thank you very much, Ole Jørgen. Let's see if you guys can do a little bit better than the last weekend. Of course, it's always depends on many things, but good luck there for Saturday and Sunday for the whole weekend.
Okay.
Thank you, and we are moving on to Eirik's Sverdrup Augdal from Team Eksjöhus. Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you here. So are you ready for the final weekend? It's almost over, the Ski Classic season, the Pro Tour.
Yeah, it's I'm ready.
So how does that make you feel when you at the kind of the tail end of the season after all these races and a long racing season behind you?
Yeah, usually I feel really good on the last part of the season, and I like racing in March and April. So yeah, I think it suits me good.
Why do you say that? Is it because of the conditions, or you usually peak towards the end of the season, or why do you like racing kind of at the end of a season?
I actually don't know. I try to be fast from the start, but I usually go faster and faster, and maybe peak in the end. It's definitely not what I want, but that's how it is.
So of course you want to peak, this weekend and be on a podium. But then questions for Erik. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Erik.
Hey.
What did the victory last weekend means to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. First victory for Eksjöhus on the men's side, and first for me. That was a big goal before the season to get a victory, and I thought it was a better chance this weekend. But yeah, it's really nice to have a victory in my pocket into the last weekend as well.
You were really, really strong in Bodø, all three of you. Was it the team tactic that you've been talking before the race, or was it that developed during the race that you were so strong and had good skis?
Yeah, our strength is maybe in the hills, and I was pretty sure that Thomas and Axel wanted to try something in the last climb. So we didn't talk that much about it, but yeah, I saw it coming.
You've been on the podium in Reistadløpet the last 2 years. Do you think going with a victory in your back means that you have higher chances to also win this race?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's the confidence from the last weekend gives me maybe a better chance. But still, it's a new weekend and everything can happen.
Last question. Grip wax or double poling, what's your situation now? I know you've been using grip wax in Reistad before. What do you think about this weekend?
I think I will go for grip wax.
Okay. Sounds exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. And then Max Östlund, do you have a question?
Yes. Hello, Erik. Both you, Axel, and Gordon have had a great peak during the last 5 races. Is it possible that you will maintain that peak throughout the last weekend?
Yeah, I think we're in a good momentum now, and we will finish strong, I think.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're in Bardufoss right now?
Yes.
Have you tried the course yet, and what is your first impressions regarding the conditions?
Yeah, I tried some of the parts today, and yeah, the snow is quite loose for the double poling, and I think that suits kick wax, but also the conditions will be really difficult on Saturday. So I'm not sure what's fastest, but the hills is still the same from last year, so it's a really tough course.
Okay. My last question is about your colleague Vebjørn Moen that fell unfortunately in Marcialonga Bodø, and I'm wondering if you other guys have talked about the backup plan if he is gonna fall once again.
I don't know what we can help him if he falls, but I think he will stay on his feet and go fast in the sprint.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Max, and thank you, Erik, and good luck for the weekend. And let's see if you can be on a podium again and win again. As you said, you usually peak towards the end of the season, so we'll see if that happens on Saturday or Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we move on to Vebjørn Moen from Team Eksjöhus, the skier that Max Östlund has talked about. Good to have you, Vebjørn.
Thank you.
So there's really a tough fight there in the spring competition between you and Anton Persson, of course, who is next in line for us. How are you approaching the final weekend? What do you need to do in order to secure, the victory in this category?
If I stayed on my feet last weekend, I would have secured a bib. So for me this weekend, just stay on my feet is the most important. So, and I haven't fell in a race for many years. So to start with that last weekend was unfortunate, but I'm done with it now, and I guess it will be fine this weekend.
So what really happened there? And you said you're done with it. How can you make sure that you won't fall again?
I don't know what I've learned from it other than stay concentrated. But my skis slipped out of the track and crossed each other. Maybe I was not focused enough. Maybe I was unlucky. It's hard to say. Either way, I don't usually fall in the race, so I think it will be okay.
Let's hope that'll be the case this weekend. Then questions for Vebjørn. Jakob, please go ahead.
You didn't finish the race. Was that did something break, or did you hurt yourself, or was it just that when you couldn't get any sprint points, it was no point continuing?
I was first of all, I had a little feeling of a sore throat on Thursday and Wednesday, the week before. It was no big deal, but I didn't want to take any chance. I just wanted to be secure that didn't break out, and it didn't. So my shape is really good now. Almost helped with the few days off. But that was I was feeling tired before that weekend, training good. So when I didn't finish the race, my shape was really booming. So this weekend it's really good. So I just felt like my only goal that weekend was to secure the green bib, and when I didn't manage to do that, I didn't see any point finishing before this weekend, which will be really tough.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jakob, and then Anders Blomqvist. Do you also have a question?
Hey, Vebjørn.
Hello.
It's been really exciting to follow you and Anton fighting for the bib. What do you think about this season? You going so hard for the sprint bib? You both too?
Yeah, my plan this season was not to go for the sprint bib, but after a few days not feeling so good in Badgarstein, and also the conditions there were really tough, and I didn't think I would be a top contester in that race. I tried to go for a sprint almost just for fun, and then in Toblach we messed a bit up with our skis, so I went for the sprint also there because of that. And after that I was in a good position for the sprint bib, so I had to go hard for it, but it was not the plan for this season. But it's really fun that I'm in a position now where I can win it, and I hope to secure the bib this weekend. But as I said, it was not the plan this winter, and I was really hoping for some to be in the top finisher in the finish line for some of the races. And fighting for the green bib has made that hard, even though I think that races like Vasaloppet and Jizerska and Marcialonga, I could have gotten a better position if I didn't go for the sprints.
Yeah, for sure. You and Anton, you've been training a lot together.
Yeah, we've been meeting up in Falun to both train and just hang out. So Anton is a great guy. I think it's cool that we have this fight, and I hope for it will be we can fight like brothers, where we are giving our best in the track, and then we can smile and shake hands afterwards. It's cool to have. It wouldn't be fun to win it would not be as big to win the sprint bib if it wasn't for the competition. So it's cool to have Anton in the mix there.
Yeah, for sure. Last question. Johanna is going to start this weekend. What do you think her chances are?
Then I can break the news again that Johanna is not coming. She was maybe partying a bit too hard in Ilahti after the season, so she got sick and is not coming. anyway. So
Okay.
she has to make her body ready for the Swedish Championships next weekend.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. And before I let you go, you just mentioned that sprint competition wasn't really your goal this season. And earlier when I interviewed you, you mentioned that you are actually shooting for the overall in the years to come. So that's going to be your goal next year then, or are you still thinking about sprint competition?
No, I feel like I'm done with that competition now. I've been trying it for 3 years, and I've been destroying many of my possibly good results on that. So I'm hoping now to finish up with 2 good sprints this weekend, and then be done with it.
Okay, that's interesting. Then next year you'll be fighting for the podium places then. Thank you.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much, Vebjørn, and good luck. Good luck there for the weekend.
Thank you.
And then we move on to Anton Persson, Team Ramudden. Hello, good to have you on our show. How are you feeling before the final weekend?
Hello, thank you. I feel good. It will be a fun weekend, I think.
So Vebjørn just mentioned that you guys train together and you're friends, even if you're rivals as well. There are a few points separating you two, but how are you approaching the weekend in terms of the sprint competition? And you still think you have a chance to win?
Vebjørn has a big lead, so it's not over yet, but I think he has a good chance to take it. But yes, I need to put some pressure on him and go as hard as I can both races, and I hope it will be a hard fight until the end.
And also have the same question for you as I had for Vebjørn. Are you still thinking about a sprint competition when this season is over, or are you also planning to sort of move on to the overall and focus on the good results, podium places, and so forth in the future?
I don't know, actually. As Vebjørn said, it's really hard to go for the sprints, and you lose a bit in the final competition, I think. So, but it's been a good year to just go into the circus for me and just train and get a lot of hard races from the start to the end. So I think I've grown a bit with this season. So, but next year I think I will go for the overall competitions.
Okay, good to hear. Then questions for Anton. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Anton.
Hey.
What have you learned during this first season in Ski Classics? What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's been a lot of new learnings. Been trying out a bit different strategies during the season, so it's completely different in terms of training and everything from the traditional. In traditional, it's more like important to always be fresh and have like good energy to do good qualifications and good sprints, and now it's been possible to train a lot more. So I have been training really hard all season, and felt like my shape is maybe on the top now. So both Birken and Bodø was maybe my best results. So yeah, I've learned a lot of lessons. So it feels like good opportunities to learn.
You had a lot of problems. Was it with your knees during your sprints in the World Cup and the championships? Do you have any problems with that now, or is that okay for you?
It's a lot better. Maybe I have some problems with not like 100% strong in both legs. So it comes a lot of like, I get tired in my hip and my back sometimes, but overall it's been much better to do long distance compared to sprint.
Okay. Last question. Who's the fastest of you and Vebjørn?
This season it has been me. I'm the fastest, but he has been the strongest. So in this competitions, strongest wins.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. Anton, wanted to ask you about the kind of the things that you mentioned, the things that you learned, but what do you need to do this upcoming summer and fall in order to improve yourself and become stronger, since you're faster but not as strong as Vebjørn? So what do you need to do to raise the bar for next year?
I think for everyone going from traditional skiing to long distance, it's all about to get strong in the uphills and being possible to take the long uphills with not going all in from the start. So I think I have good speed in the flats, and like my feeling that like in the group there is really good, but it's the long uphills who usually kills me. So I need to just keep training a lot of uphill, I think.
But generally speaking, you're pretty content with your double poling. They feel that you're strong enough.
Yeah, I think in flat parts and short hills and like in high speed, then it feels really good. But it's the uphills who kills me.
Okay, thank you very much, Anton, and good luck there for the weekend. 2 more races to go, and then you get to go and start working on the your double poling uphills.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Jeremy Royer, the youth category is next for us, and we have Jeremy who's in the lead there on the men's side. How are you doing before the end of the season, at least in terms of ski classics?
I'm good. I'm in Bardufoss with all the team, so we can check the track.
So you're in the lead in the youth competition category. Amund is about 100 or so points behind you. I mean, how confident are you that you can take this trophy back home, or what are you thinking about it before the weekend?
I think it's not win yet. I can't be confident, but my shape is good, so I think if I'm strong this weekend, I can take this trophy at home. But I need to do a good race. So just see what is happen during these 2 races.
Do you think that these course profiles, both on Saturday and Sunday, suit you well?
Yeah, I think I like this profile with hard climb, and for Saturday it's not a super long race, so I think it's better for me the race around 2.5. But I like the weekend with 2 races too, so maybe in Sunday it can be a good day for me too.
That'll be interesting to see if that happens then. Then questions for Jeremy. It always takes a while before while waiting for the tactics. What kind of a tactics do you think for the weekend? The early skier mentioned that Reistadløpet is a race that usually doesn't come with a team tactic, but what do you think?
I'm not sure you have a real tactic in Reistad. It's so tough race, so I think the guys with kickwalks try to go really fast in the first hill, so you just need to survive in the first hill, and after I think you have like a little group after the first climb and try to have the best result after for the finish.
And then when you think about the overall season, since this is the last weekend now, how would you evaluate your race season?
I'm very happy about my season because for sure I do my best result playing all the season. But I really want to do a really good race because all the time I'm around top 10 and I do one good place in diagonal at top 6. But I really want to do like a top 5 or podium in this season. So maybe for this weekend.
Maybe you still have a chance. Jakob Hård, you have a question.
Yeah, it sounded like you will not go with kickwax. Are you 100% decided, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, I am decided to start with double pulling. I think it's really hard to start with kickwax when you don't do so much classic during all the year.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jakob. You mentioned the podium, that's what you're shooting for, and let's assume that it won't happen this weekend. What do you need to do for next year? What do you need to do in order to reach that goal?
But to train hard and to be a good shape, and I think trying the podium now is so much guys fight for the podium, so you need to have a really good shape, maybe the really good ski, and the tactic are the best during the race to finish on the podium. So you need to have these three things to go up in the podium.
But you ready for the hard work?
Yeah, I'm ready all the time for the hard work.
Indeed. Thank you, Jeremy, and good luck there. And let's see if you can take home the trophy in this category that you are fighting in, the youth.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And moving on to Louise Lindström, also in the same category, but on the women's side. Hello, good to see you again, Louise.
Hello.
All good? Are you happy right now? Are you ready for the weekend? You feel that this is your weekend?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the last weekend of the season, and I'm really happy about the course. It seems tough and a lot of uphills, and I think I like it.
What about the fight in your category? Hanna Lodin is not really that far behind. So what are you expecting to see come Saturday?
Yeah. Hanna is really strong, so this weekend's going to be a really tough fight for the pink bib.
So is she the one that you're going to keep your eyes on and you don't worry about anything else? Just Hanna?
No, I'm racing trying to race as fast as I can, and that will bring me most points, and hopefully it's enough to keep the bib.
Hopefully so. And then questions for Louise. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Louise.
Hey.
How do you think regarding grip wax or not grip wax on Saturday?
For me, I'm quite sure I will race with grip wax.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit how your thoughts are regarding that?
I see the course today and I think that was really hard, and that's made me even more sure, even if I was listening to my teammates before and felt quite sure, but after skiing the first uphill today, I was very sure. Maybe I don't have training so much classic during the year, but I'm still doing it some sessions, and after maybe having some more training sessions in classic the last weekend, so I felt quite sure and hope my legs still like the diagonal.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anders. And sort of a follow-up to Anders' question, how do you feel about having races like Reistadløpet? You just mentioned that you don't really do that much diagonal striding anymore. Of course, you don't, because Ski Classic is about double poling. But how do you feel about having a race like that where you actually have an option and you need to kind of ponder about the possibility of going with the kickbacks?
Yeah, I think it felt really exciting to have it, and I would like maybe a mix of traditional and long distance skiing. So I'm really happy about it. And I said today when we were doing the course, like, oh, this gives me vibes from the traditional skiing, and it should be very fun. And maybe more race in the future can be on grip weights, maybe.
Interesting to hear. Anders Blomqvist, you still have a question?
Yeah, I do. I forgot one. How's your ski park regarding classic skis now for this weekend?
What you said?
How many skis do you have that's suitable for going with grip wax brought with you up to this weekend?
Yeah. We have a lot smaller ski park with classic skis, but hopefully they are like suits the race and will be competitible.
Okay, but that's a skis that you haven't been used this winter.
I'm racing some traditional races in Bruksvallarna in the beginning of the season, and when I was in Bollnäs for some weeks ago. So I have going through my classic skis sometimes and doing a little work, and should continue do that work with our team waxers tomorrow and on Friday. So
okay,
we will find something that's good in these kind of conditions, even if it's gonna be hard with snow and a mix of rain.
Yeah, and that includes ruggade skis as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. So, Louise, how much do you do diagonal striding in your sort of training regime? Or is it just double poling?
It's not much at all, but some sessions when I want to rest the upper body a bit and have some easy sessions, I can do classic and skate. And I also have a month during the summer when I was hurting in my collarbone. So then I'm doing quite much diagonal skiing on roller skis and roller ski on a treadmill. So yeah, I have some hard sessions even, but if that was quite a long time ago now. But as I said, I also doing some two traditional races with classic this season. So yeah, maybe more than some of the other girls that doing even more double poling than me. But yeah, so I trust my traditional skiing still, but yeah, hard to say how long it will manage in the race.
But you don't normally do hard sessions and diagonal striding technique anymore. You mentioned this is races and the special session in the summer, but during the winter you don't usually use or do intensive diagonal striding sessions.
No, not much at all.
All right. Good to hear. Thank you very much, Louise, and good luck there. And of course, and a bit tough fight that you have in your category there. And next we have Hanna Lodin. So let's ask her what she feels about the fight there. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we should have Hanna there. Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. So how, speaking of which, how do you feel about the fight against Louise, who just left?
Yeah, well, I know that it was a really hard decision for me in Vasaloppen, and I missed that one. So, but I still had kind of a hope for get back the pink bib, but the bacon wasn't that good. So, and right now, well, Louise, yeah, she's really shown that she's really strong, even in uphills, and yeah, I'm impressed of her what they have done the last part of the season. So we will see. I will still fight for it, but yeah, we will see.
And then what about the profiles of these two races? Do you feel that they are pretty good for you, or are you maybe nervous about the tough races and back to back?
Well, it feels like the uphills suits me quite well, even though, and yeah, I will double pole these both on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, it's a bit, maybe it's too tough in an ideal world on Saturday, but yeah, I would just do my best. I wouldn't get better if I go diagonal striding. So I will do my best. Just yeah.
But are you good at herringboning?
I hope so. We will see.
There will be some, I think.
yeah, I guess so. So yeah, as long as I don't get too stiff, I hope I will do it. Yeah, do a good herringbone too.
Let's see how that goes. Then questions for Hanna. Max Östlund, your turn.
Hello, Hanna. I'm wondering if there is something that you would have changed or done differently in retrospective regarding the youth bib competition.
No, I wouldn't say that I can. No, yeah, of course it was. I wasn't sure if I should start or not, and decided on Vasaloppet just 4 o'clock before the race on the race day. But you never know if it would get worse or if I still could like manage and do a good last part of the season. So no, I wouldn't say I have regret anything, and that's the only part that I should regret, if I should regret anything, I guess.
Okay, so for the last weekend, will the youth competition still be top of mind and your main focus?
Yeah, of course, I will still fight for it. I will do my best.
Okay, thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max Östlund, and then Anders Blomqvist, your turn.
Hey, Hanna.
Hey.
Do I remember correct that you did used grip wax last year in Reistad?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not an option this year.
No, I was very happy with my result and that I managed it as good as I did. But that was my worst result in my ski classic career. So I heard from other parts that this isn't an option for me, and it feels like it's not this year. So I haven't done any. Haven't trained with kick wax either. So it was a very clear choice to do that, not go with it.
What weather conditions do you pray for on Saturday?
Well, whether that's just double polars, I guess.
Okay. You were on the podium in XVI. What does that mean for you after this, summarizing this season?
A lot, since I know that I can reach the podium, and I have some other times also been very close to stay up in the front group with the maybe 3-4 other very strong girls. So I know I'm very close to do it again. So yeah, it means a lot to me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. And speaking of which, kind of continuation to that and what you guys just talked about with Anders there, podium important milestone for you for sure. But when you kind of look back on the whole season, was it exactly what you expected, or did it surprise you? And how do you feel about it now before the last weekend?
No, I'm very pleased with my season. I have done some steps from last year, and I've been very stable, and that's maybe the most important part for me, that I know that my ground shape or that I can keep and be stable during the whole season, and I think that's the most important things for me, and then I can just work from there. So I'm very pleased with it, and I wouldn't say that I'm I think that's the way I've been, or the results that I've done have been in a realistic world for me.
We are also very pleased with your season. It's been really exciting to see you racing there, and good luck there. You know, I know there'll be a tough fight between you and Louise there. Let's see which one of you will win, but good luck.
Thank you.
And we are now moving on to Axel Jutterström from Team Eksjöhus. Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you on our show once again. You are actually in the lead in the climb competition. Is that in your mind now, or are you focusing on the podium, winning a race? What is your tactic strategy for the last weekend?
Yeah, I will try to keep the climb bib. That's that has like I've been aiming for that bib some competitions now since I was in a good position for it. Maybe not going all in, but yeah, there's a lot of points in these last two races still, so I will fight for it.
On Reistadløpet, there's a really an iconic climb, a tough one there. So, how are you approaching that particular climb? It's a very different from many other climb points that we have on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, and it's a climb where you just have to be good enough to take points there. Usually the guys that are in front there are in front at the end of the race as well. So you just have to wish you have a good day to be able to take points there.
And assume that besides the climb competition, podium is also your goal for the weekend. Again.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Good. Questions for Axel? Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Axel. You really look super strong now. Your shape is continuously good, or what do you think after Buda?
Yeah, it feels that way. The shape has been good for a couple of weeks, and yeah, I've been feeling good this week. Felt like I was recovering quick from the weekend, and yeah, I think it will still be good this weekend.
You were really close to your first victory last weekend. Have you been thinking about it?
Yeah, yes, I was, or it has been a bit annoying thinking about the small margin that was to the win, and yeah, but it was in the end just a really nice day to share the podium with my teammates. So been both.
Yeah, for sure, and it was a really good sprint. Have you learned something from it? If this situation is happening again this weekend?
Yeah, and all final kilometers are different, so to you different tactics, or you use different tactics depending on how it looks, and yeah, I know for the sprint now in the both upcoming races how I want to do if I'm at the front of the race by then.
Okay. Grip wax or double poling? Is that an easy question for you this week, at least at Saturday?
Yeah, I will double pole. Really.
100%.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. Speaking of your team there, team tactics. I mean, you guys had a podium places last weekend. Have you talked about that a little bit? What kind of a team tactics you need to have for the whole weekend, both Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, it's both really tough races. So I think it's races that will suit us well since we're strong climbers. So we'll just yeah, it may be hard to expect that we can use the same tactics like last time, but I think all of us will try to be in the front of the race and to try to push hard and use the climbs to our advantage.
But would it be safe to say that you could repeat the feat again and maybe even have a triple victory this weekend?
I would say it's not impossible, but I know also a lot of the other teams are wanting to have revenge at that, and I will not. It's not easy to repeat such a feat, so we'll have to see.
We'll have to see that. Thank you very much, Axel. Good luck there, and also good luck, for the climb competition. That's also important for you, besides the podium places.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck there. And now we're moving on to our special guest here, Ebba Andersson.
Hello.
Hi. Hey,
Hello.
good to have you. Have you recovered from Lahti? Are you ready to rumble again?
Hope so. I have some expectations on having energy for the upcoming weekend.
You've done ski classic races before. You kind of know the drill, the atmosphere and all that. But what kind of a shift is it really from the World Cup, from Lahti coming to Reistadløpet? Still skiing, but two different types of skiing.
Yeah, it was some years ago. I competed in ski classics, but it will be nice to come back and it's a new place for me to compete. It has been 3 years since last time, so it will be exciting.
And you have won ski classic races as well, but do you think that these courses suit you really well, because really tough, lots of long climbs?
Yeah, I have one victory from Reistadløpet 3 years ago, so I know that the course and the race suits me well. But as always, it's a new competition with new circumstances, and that's why it will be an exciting race, and also exciting to be back after some years.
And new faces to skiers that you don't see every weekend. So then the questions for Ebba. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Ebba.
Hey.
It will be fun to see you ski in the ski classic races again. I guess grip wax is 100% choice for you, or do you think otherwise?
The plan is grip for the first competition. Then I will see. But it all depends. With the weather and the shape of me as well. But for Reistadløpet, the plan is grip.
Astrid was a little bit worried that she didn't bring her best skis from the World Cup circus. How is your material going into Ski Classic?
I have got a ski baggage with some skis that I have had with me during the World Cup. So I think I will have enough good skis for both competitions.
Okay, thank you, and really congrats for the World Champs. That was really good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist, and then Ola Brännholm, your turn.
Hello, Ebba. I've asked to have a few questions in Swedish too, so I hope that's okay for everyone, for the Swedish viewers. So Ebba, först av allt, du kan väl bara berätta varför du gör det här och vad du har för förhoppningar inför helgen.
Först och främst så är jag fortsatt lite tävlingssugen, men sen så ser jag också det som en del av ens utveckling, just att komma till Ski Classic, till en miljö där jag inte är särskilt van att tävla, och det är ju alltid en utmaning att ta sig an ett långlopp, så det är ju mycket det som lockar, och nu när världscupsäsongen är över så fanns det som ett litet fönster här mellan världscupavslutningen och SM, och då kände jag att jag ville ta den chansen.
Det finns såklart ett jättestort intresse här i Sverige nu för det som ju blir en duell mellan dig och din gamla landslagskompis Stina Nilsson. Vad tänker du om den kampen i de här 2 loppen nu som blir?
Alltså först och främst är jag lite allergisk mot det här med dueller, för att det är ju betydligt fler som jag gissar att det kommer handla om än bara mig och Stina i den där tävlingen. Sen att det kommer säkert bli en kamp att tävla mot Stina igen, och framförallt ja, alltså utifrån hur hon har presterat de senaste helgerna. Men duell, ja, där är jag väl inte riktigt av samma åsikt, utan jag tror att det kommer vara tufft motstånd från många håll och kanter, det tror jag.
Men vad tror du om styrkeförhållandena? Dig kontra de här riktiga långloppsspecialisterna som ju mestadels bara dubbelstakar, och nu kommer ju några av dem behöva köra med fäste eller försöka slå det då stakning.
Ja, i och med att det var några år sedan jag senast var i Ski Classics och körde, så det är så svårt att veta liksom hur har nivån tagit sig under de senaste åren. Man har ju bara kunnat liksom följa från tv, och det har ju sett ut som att det successivt har gått framåt. Men liksom av erfarenhet så vet jag att jag i alla fall tidigare har stått mig bra gentemot dem. Men ja, som sagt, det var ju några år sedan, och ja, jag vet ju inte alls heller liksom, vad är det för form jag kommer ställa med till helgen. Så att det blir väldigt spännande oavsett.
Vem är huvudfavorit på lördag?
Ja, alltså jag tror att en sån som Astrid Öjrislind kommer vara riktigt svår att knäcka i Reistadløpet, det tror jag. Helst med tanke på att hon också är den som har stått som segrare de senaste åren, och vi alla har ju sett vad hon har gjort här i världscupen under det här året. Alltså jag undrar om det är det 14 pallplatser hon har i världscupen eller vad är det? Så att vi vet ju att hon är stark, och hon var ju också den som närmast följde Therese under senaste tävlingarna i Lahti. Så att jag tror nog att hon kommer bli riktigt svår att slå.
Tack så mycket. Thank you, Ebba, and thanks everyone for letting us have some questions in Swedish as well.
Thank you, Ola. And then we move on to Ingeborg.
Yeah, hi Ebba. Again, congrats on all your goals in Trondheim. That was fun to watch. How are you feeling now after the 2 weekends, one in Norway and one in Lahti, that was really rough for you?
Yeah, at the moment I am feeling good, and I have really tried to take all these days at home for some recovery, and I am looking forward to take on the Bib once again the upcoming weekend.
So in that regards then, what do you consider your biggest strengths and your strengths and the things that you have to play on to be outperforming the other ones, the Ski Classic specialists and Astrid, which you have competed against a lot? What are your strengths?
I know for sure that I have good endurance, but it's common for all the Ski Classics athletes. But I think and hope that the uphill part is the strength I have. So we will see how everything will end. But I think that it's the uphill part that I need to use some of my energy.
So what is your motivation now that after winning 3 golds at the World Championships? Like what is it? Why do you have to keep competing now? What do you want to gain?
I see the races here in Ski Classics really as a challenge, and I think it's good for my development, and it motivates me to do something that I am not doing that often.
Well, that's exciting. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to watching you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ingeborg. And then Jakob, your turn.
Hey, Ebba. We have seen during the past years that some skiers that have been training a lot of long distance and been taking part in Ski Classics also have developed as traditional skiers, that the training that they have been doing has been beneficial also for the traditional skiing. I don't know if you have thought anything about that, but I would be interested to hear if you have, and what you can say about that.
yeah, for sure we have some cases where different athletes first have competed in traditional skiing, and then they have transferred to ski classics, and with all that training and the toughness you get from all these long races, that they have also been developing the traditional skiing. So I have also seen that, but sometimes I think it's also just, you do something in one way, and then you do something else in another way, and just that difference is sometimes developing.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then Victoria Bergsten, you also have a question?
Yes, I hope it's okay that I take it in Swedish. Hej Ebba, jag undrar lite, hej, hur passar de här loppen din åkstil eller långlopp?
Hej, alltså jag är en av de här traditionella åkarna som har sina styrkor när det kommer till distanslopp. Så att i grunden så är jag ju en med en fysisk förmåga att kunna hantera lite längre lopp, och därför så är ju Ski Classics inte allt för långt bort ifrån det. Det som däremot är ju att jag är inte tränad för att gå så här långa lopp i så stor utsträckning, och framförallt inte 2 dagar i rad. Så det är väl det som kommer vara den stora utmaningen också, just det här att alla kilometer och mil som vi kommer köra, det kommer inte ske liksom på en 5 kilometers bana där det går mycket upp och sen lite ner för däremellan, utan nu kommer det ju vara lopp där det blir betydligt mer ihållande partier av både det ena och det andra. Så det är väl det som jag egentligen ser som den stora utmaningen att kunna hantera. Så.
Är det något du kan ta med dig från dina tidigare långlopp som du har kört?
Ja, men det finns absolut. Och om jag tänker liksom på de få gånger jag tävlat, de 2 lopp jag har kört, så har jag den ena gången så har jag gått på blanka skidor och jag har hanterat det väl, och den andra gången så har jag lyckats vinna på fäste. Så jag vet ju liksom att även om det liksom skulle bli blankt eller om det blir med fäste, så de 2 lopp som är nu kommande helg, så vet jag att jag kan hantera det. Sen är ju bara frågan så här, hur hanterar jag det i förhållande till långloppsåkarna som gör det här liksom helg efter helg. Så det är väl det som blir det liksom stora spänningsmomentet.
Det förstår jag. Vad hoppas du att det blir för väder i helgen då?
Ja, helst hade man ju hoppats på strålande sol och fasta fina spår, men jag tror det kan vara så att man får ställa in sig på något annat än det. Jag vet i alla fall att senast jag körde Ski Classics var ju Reistadløpet för 3 år sedan, och då tog vi oss igenom det loppet i ren och skär snöstorm. Så att lite bättre än så hoppas jag i alla fall att det ska vara.
Vi får hoppas på det. Är det något av de här loppen som du tror lite extra på?
Ja, så jag tänker att jag börjar med att ta det första loppet, och så får vi se lite grann hur det går. Men liksom på pappret så är det ju det första loppet som borde passa mig bättre, med dels tanke på längden på loppet, att det är något kortare, och så sen så är det ju helt säkert att det är mest troligt gynnas att gå med fästvall under skidorna, med liksom den karaktären som det loppet har.
Ja, toppen. Tack snälla du, lycka till.
Ja, men tack.
Thank you, Victoria. Ingeborg, you still have a question?
Yes, I do. I forgot to ask, how did you get in touch with Team Engcon, and why did you choose to race with those?
First I know some of the coaches in the team, and last year I also planned to ski classics, and was in contact with that team and was planning to go for them in that time. But I struggled a lot with my shape last year during the season, and had also some problem with the foot at that time. So that's why I didn't race the Ski Classics last year. But this time I hope for some revenge.
That should be really exciting to see. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ingeborg. And indeed, it'll be exciting to see how well you can do this weekend. And also from my side, a huge congrats on your performances at the World Champs. And also good luck, for the weekend there. And enjoy Ski Classics.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ebba, and thank you everyone joining us today all over the world, and also media reps, everybody. Stay tuned for the last weekend. Indeed, the Reistadløpet on Sunday and Summit to Senja on Saturday. And then that's it. Those are the final races. Let's make this weekend the greatest ever. See you guys this weekend. Take care and bye-bye.